Welcome to the Paul Chandler Show, all. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. In today's episode, we're going to be continuing our theme that we're having for January, where our Wednesday episodes will be continuing on from the previous Mondays. So this past Monday, we looked at how we code cataracts. So today we'll be using the Padzilla, and we'll actually be seeing a cataract surgery being performed. And just like I would do with the Padzilla videos, while the surgery is going on, I'll be explaining what the doctor is actually doing during that procedure. So that way, as far as coders and auditors, we'll be able to put pictures to the text that we're reading when we're coding or auditing the op report. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. We'll be watching a cataract surgery on the Padzilla. Welcome back, everyone. And now for the cataract surgery on the Padzilla. And so you see this is a live actual recording, not an animation. So what the provider will do first to be able to get into the lens, first they'll make about that 1 centimeter incision so they can stick that nice little metal pole in there. And to be able to remove the lens, then they need to do a filling first. So that way then be able to extract the cataract out. So you see here, then the provider made in the filling. And then we had a little bit of blood where that 1 centimeter spot was. And then the doctor is now taking a different scalpel, and that's about a 2.2 millimeter. And then, so we had the 1 millimeter off to the side and 2.2 millimeter. And then the doctor put nice little tweezers in. And then to be able to cut the lens, they'll make a nice little incision in there. And then to be able to remove it for the cataract, then the provider wants to, when they're making the removal of it, kind of do it curling a little bit at a time. So that way we see the cataract there, the big white foggy blob there. But then the doctor is removing then the lens, the cornea around, and so that we have a little bit of margins outside of the cataract first. So by taking it a little piece by piece and then be able to curl it around. And then they take the different tool, and then now they're scraping away the sides. So this center part above the cataract, a little bit of margins was already removed. And now then the doctor, with a nice little hook there, is going through and removing the outside. So think of it as like the pie crust, if you will. So the doctor removed the pie in the middle first, and is now getting the outside around it there, the crust, the round part on it. And this little tool there, remember, this isn't large to be able to put the big eye on the screen. This is a nice little vacuum cleaner. A little suction tool that goes in, and you can see the camera is moving around quite a bit. But then the doctor then has the two tools in, one to be able to scraping away the lens material, and then going in and making the suction. And then what had just happened there was by putting the vacuum in then, and then be able to cut vertically down through the cornea, but also through the cataract itself to be able to remove it. And now it's going to look kind of weird, but and then they take the vacuum and suck then the cataract out of the eye itself, and because of the size of the cataract and then the vacuum, that's why they have to do one half at one time, then the other half at another time. And you see this nice little cloudy blob just gets sucked in there, and you see the doctor just taking the little hook tool and kind of moving it around a little bit to be able to get the suction in. Now after the cataract itself has been removed with the lens, and then now the doctor is taking the vacuum and getting all the other part of the lens out, that's all that's left, and then using the little hook tool as needed to extract it from the side. All that's got to be cleaned out before the new lens can go in. So you're just going the suction around, and as we see there, we have a little bit left there. So then the doctor then switched the tools, and just like you think of it as like you have your vacuum cleaner at home, and you have the different tools on the end, like the nose that you can extend out. Sometimes you have a little skinny line type of suction on the vacuum. A lot of times you put a little different accessory on the end, like a little brush on it. So the doctor then just switched out the vacuum tools, more of a finite one at the end, and then to be able to get all around, because every part of the original lens that had the cataract in it does have to be removed before the new one can go in. And so we have that vacuum suction there, and making sure that all the little bits and pieces were removed. So then that way, then there's not an extra little bit of possibly just lens left over there. And then where the doctor goes then with this tool, they stick it in and then they put it through there. That does look kind of a little bit nasty, but what they did was just put the new lens in. So then we had the one tool that went in, and the lens was folded and small. The tool went in, and then the lens then is now being spread out. And it's being all leveled out and spread out to cover the original part of the lens itself, and the original lens that was in. And then as the doctor puts the lens in, now it's not just like putting a contact in where you just pop them in and pop them out. When the new lens goes in, now the provider has to make sure and go all the way around that the lens itself is connected to the eye, and it's providers that's just going around, making sure that's all connected in there, and then they can double check their work by the kind of little spongy type of material to push it through to make sure that all of the lens was connected correctly and none of it was left out. So as you see here that when we're doing the cataract surgery, it's a little bit more than just popping the cataract out and putting a new lens in, just like, for example, if you're replacing out your contacts, how the provider had to go in and do a removal of the cornea and then start with the suction of the cataract itself. And we saw how they had to split the cataract in half to be able to have that suction part out. And then a small little tool goes in and then pops out the new lens, and it folds out. And then the provider went through, leveled out the new lens, make sure it's all nice and smooth, and connected the borders of the lens around the eye itself. And then last but not least, then they took the kind of nice little sponge tool and went around to ensure that the lens, the new one, is connected to the eye. And that's how we do cataract surgery. And I hope it wasn't too gruesome for you, because oftentimes we do animated type of clinical videos, but go big or go home. So that's why I basically decided to do an actual live video for that. So I do thank you for watching this episode of the Paul Chandler Show from all the cast and crew here. And remember, you can also suggest topics for the show as well. Just go to thepaulchandlershow.com, and then up at the top of the page, there's a little button you can click to suggest a topic. So again, from all of us here at the cast and crew of the Paul Chandler Show, we do thank you for watching, and have an awesome rest of your day.